still not subscribed to the Partition, you know, it's a lot of ways that you can do this besides watching all the content. But before we start, always remember, go to the channels link. Every show that we have, you can always see every show before everybody else see the show. But besides that, always remember, subscribe to the channel, hit that notification bell, put it on all. Until then, always remember, anything is possible. Thank you for choosing the Partition. Now let's get into the show. Anything is possible. Peace. I know, she worked at the club I used to work at.
Porn, some people could clock in, and you know, money is money. See that? Man, that was easy, man. My fans know who I am.
My son got me this with my dad, so I can always have him with me whenever I do the show.
Hold on, wait. I want to laugh.
Welcome back to Choppin' It Up with Lil Ron as we celebrate our 4th season of Choppin' It Up with Lil Ron. I wanted to bring a poet back because last season everybody always talk about different poets. I have a poet that not only did I actually see her in action, I actually personally reached out to her on Facebook when I actually saw her doing her thing. This lady is a wonderful poet. She's a mom, she's a teacher, man, she does it all. I want you guys to welcome the one and only Sylvia The Poet.
Hey,
did I say it right?
Hey. Yes, you did. Yes, you did, Ryan.
Man, I am so glad to have you on the show because we have so much to talk about.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, yes, yes. What I do when everybody come on the show, I always do this to everybody. I tell them that I would like for them to introduce themselves to my fans because your fans know who you are.
For sure.
And get them a quick little rundown and we can go from there. So you got the floor.
I am Sylvia the Poet. Thank you for giving me the floor, Ryan. Appreciate that. So like he said, I'm Sylvia the Poet. I've been doing poetry for about 14, 15 years now.
Wow.
I started off very early. I've been actively performing on the scene in Houston for about 1.5 years now. Mm-hmm. That's a whole different experience. You know what I'm saying? It can get real Shabba Ranks out here in Houston with the poetry, okay?
Yes. Because everybody, and you think about it, everybody is actually trying to do poetry.
It's coming back.
Yes.
It's coming back.
Poetry is actually... It never really went nowhere, but a lot of people don't really pursue it. And a lot of rappers and singers don't understand they are
poets, yeah.
Because you taking stuff from your mind
Absolutely.
And your thoughts and you making it come to reality. And some people go through a lot of things. But one thing I do want to ask, first thing is, what spark gave you the mindset to say, I want to be a poet?
My love of music would be my first inspiration, and then pain.
Yeah.
I think a lot of poets could connect to the fact that poetry is like therapeutic for people who call themselves poets. You know what I'm saying? It's an outlet. It's a way of identifying and coping with the craziness of life, you know? So that was definitely my spark, my love of music and pain.
You know, I tell people a lot. Some people think being a poet is easy. And I tell them a lot of times, just because they say something and it may seem like it's smooth, but they don't understand. Sometimes it's stuff that poets go through. They go through certain things, and that's the reason why they're able to give off that stuff. And plus, you have to be a person that give out good, positive energy to somebody to make them feel and express the words that you actually give. And poets always adapt to any type of environment. It doesn't matter that the environment they in. They could be sitting down getting ready to go to a function, and it'll pop up in their mind. They like, oh man, hold on, man, this happened right here. Let me go to okay, and they put everything together, and before you know it, man, it's like it's magic.
Yeah.
Now, being an actual poet, Do you ever have people that actually call you and say, can you write a poem for me, for my mom, for Mother's Day, or write one for my husband, or one for my son because he passed?
Yeah.
What do you actually tell them?
Well, in situations where like I'm requested to write things, like as a poet, people will hear your writing and they might want you to write them a prayer. I get a lot of requests to write prayers. My poetry it's ingrained in life. So it has to do with like real emotions and like real occurrences and things like that. And usually when you're dealing with those creative types of people, like you say, those people that can adjust in these different situations and these different environments, these people are very perceptive, you know, and that comes with a certain amount of like intuition, you know, so it's like I guess you could say a super sensory, like a really good poet or a really good entertainer would have. They're very in tuned. They're very perceptive. They're able to pick up on different subtle energies in the situation. And in my opinion, it's all spirituality. So I'd be honored when somebody asks me about writing prayer and things like that, because people from all kinds of different religious backgrounds will ask me, hey, could you write me this type of prayer? You know, this is the essence I'm trying to capture. This is what I wanted to go through. I can't just quite put the words together, you know, but that would actually be the most frequent request that I get is writing prayers. So I've gotten some really good practice in that aspect. Yeah, most definitely. And prayer is very poetic.
Yes, you sure right, because
poetry is timeless.
Yeah, and you can't put a price on it. People don't understand. You cannot put a price on it. What was the first time you did your first stand-up poetry? Whether it's around your family, around a group of friends at school?
My first time doing my poetry out loud. See, I was one of them rambunctious kids, right? So, like, I would spend time to myself, but I was always working on something I can go show off later, right? Like, I'm building these skills, but I'm about to wow them. I'm going to knock their socks off, you know, because I really love entertainment. I come from a family of entertainers. Like, my grandmother was very good in theater. My daddy actually won a Grammy doing Zydeco and playing bass guitar. So I come from entertainers. Yeah, Randy Kelly. I come from entertainers. I come from people who have a passion in uplifting people through our talents. And I feel like it's something innate in me that makes me want to develop these things to inspire things inside of people. You know, like I don't like to see people sad. I try to uplift them. I try to tell them kind words and things like that. Like, even if I'm going through something personally, I find so much contentment in uplifting others.
Yes.
So my first time performing was just me as a teenager. I was probably about like 14 years old, you know, and I was really trying to wow my peers. And I noticed things that they struggled with mentally and things that bothered them mentally. And I like to tease and make fun of things that make me uncomfortable. So when you're in school with your peers, it's kind of like y'all all share experiences at that age. You know, that's like the most connected you are with people is when you're going through school. As adults, you're more of an individual. You're less connected. But kids, we really connected. So it's like, I'm going to write this and everybody going to feel me. You know, so I wrote my first poem. It was actually a poem called Lips. You know, we were all adolescents. We were all going through our little preteen and interest in things. And, you know, sex is a topic at that age, you know, whether or not it's a good thing or a bad thing. That's just the reality of, you know, high school and, you know, growing up and stuff like that. So I wrote Lips and I performed it for my peers and they loved it. Wow. They were absolutely amazed by it. And then I would just get up and do it all the time. Like, oh, you gonna love this. Watch this. You know what I'm saying? And I'd come bust it out. And I was a person that was known for just impromptu poetry. You know how they have like the breakouts now to where everybody's sitting there and it's all normal and then everybody will break out dancing. I used to do that by myself.
Oh my goodness.
So where I'm just going, if it's too quiet and we're bored, I'm about to start spitting. I'm about to pull everybody into it, you know? So.
Yeah, but you don't want us to be in a situation where it's actually everybody sitting there and you hear crickets and everybody just looking like...
You know, and we all bored and it's 10 of us in here. For what? I'm about to entertain y'all.
That's right.
Y'all gonna watch me if you don't got nothing else to do.
Now, what really amazed me is when me and Kato came to your show. After talking to you and we actually spoke and you said, hey, Ron, I got a show. Can you come? And I know a lot of people always tell you, I'm going to show up, I'm going to come. And
absolutely.
They never come.
Nah, y'all came through for sure.
And to have a complete stranger to actually come and support your show, pay for your show, because most people come, well, I'm supposed to be coming, I'm supposed to be getting in for free. We paid, we came, and we was blown away.
Yeah.
And when all I can just hear is, I'm gonna put a spell on you. I'm like, I said, what the? But as I turn back, all the other poets was actually good. I'm never gonna take nothing from them.
Yeah.
Your acting when you came out, it like shined a light. I looked and said, like, man, this lady is overlooked.
Thank you so much.
Man, she needs to be seen. She needs to be heard. Whoever don't see her now, and in the future jump on the bandwagon, they gonna be sorry they don't miss the good stuff in the beginning.
Yeah.
Because the other stuff is gonna be great. But the good stuff is always in the beginning, and people never look at that. They look at the stuff when you get at the top. They don't look at the stuff at the bottom as the procedure as you got ready to come up. Now, we got together, we talked, and it's already a reality. Tell us about this show you got. That's important to me.
Okay, so our project that we working on is Poetry Talks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I want to bring you guys to the inside world of poetry. Like I mentioned in the beginning, the poetry world can get very shabba ranks, and that's gangster for those who don't know, okay? Mm-hmm. It's a very competitive place. It's a lot of things going on socially and interpersonally. You know, you got... A lot of poets are very intriguing people. A lot of them have past and backgrounds. And that's why you fearless to step in front of a crowd of people and tell your truth. It takes a lot of life to make you get in front of a room full of strangers and be vulnerable like that with confidence.
Yes.
You know, it maybe encourage them to be more comfortable about their own situation, and they don't even know you.
That's correct.
That takes experience to have that amount of power. So when you're in an environment with all these powerful people and you introduce competition, and it's like it can only be so many greats. That is an interesting world to be in. And people kind of think poets are like these, where art thou type people, you know, like Shakespeare and things like that. But no, we Tupac, okay? Poets are Tupac.
Hey, you got me smiling over here. See, you done messed around and said Tupac, man. You got me, you know.
No,
a lot of people don't know Tupac was a poet.
And an actor.
That's why he can pour out to people. Like when he say, you know, there's a crack fiend mama. You always was a black queen mama. So they don't understand.
Brenda's got a baby.
Yes,
Straight poetry.
Yes, they do not know, man. And Tupac actually said himself, I may not change the world, but I guarantee you I will spark the brain that will change the world. And that is a proven fact. Half of the people now that's here, either their children or their parents have some type of influence that comes off of Tupac. They cannot tell me they don't.
Absolutely.
Now, this is another thing I wanted to know. On your show that you're going to have, are you going to have a lot of featured poets on there besides yourself?
Well, most definitely. I want to get some of the heavy hitters because me coming out into the poetry scene in Houston, that was something new for me because I never did poetry as an adult. It was always something I did as a kid and in school, right? And then I transitioned into going to college and, you know, getting my degree, getting my education. I worked as a mental health worker for a while. And I really just kind of accumulated all these experience to where I needed an outlet again. And I stepped out into the poetry scene in Houston, which is very developed, very banging. There's some titans that are super entertaining that's out there. And I would just love to have them come up and just say what their experiences was like. A lot of these poets are predecessors to poets that came before them. And now they're at the top of their game, you know, so just getting that perspective of how they went through full cycle, like I think people would find that very interesting. And then even hearing about the conflict.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe I'll be able to solve some conflict.
And you actually are from Beaumont, right? You live in Beaumont?
I live in Beaumont and I commute to Houston. I'm actually from Houston, Acres Home to be exact.
Oh, you from Acres Home?
Yes.
Out there with Slim Thugger?
Yeah.
Graduated
from Eisenhower.
What year?
2010.
Oh, wow. Big Ike.
Big Ike.
Man, you know, I used to have a record shop on Antoine and DeSoto.
Oh, yeah, I used to live off Antoine.
Yeah,
5700 block.
Yeah.
Tidwell.
Oh, man. Hey. Oh, man, you right down the street.
Tidwell? No.
Yeah, you right down the street from Garden City, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Garden City is not that man, you like, oh, yeah. Man, okay, so you she from the north. So I'll let you know, hey, she from my side, man.
Yeah,
I'm from Tidwell and Mesa, over there by Forest Brook and
Antoine
Smiley.
and Tidwell.
Man.
Right down the street from Gold Bank.
Man, a lot, man. Gulf Bank is.
Gulf Bank is rough.
Yes, man. I'm telling you, you can't be if you ain't from there. I don't advise nobody to be over
Go
there.
hang out and get lost.
No, you don't want to do
for
that.
Sure.
Now we actually comes to the segment which we call Leon's Top 5.
Okay.
Leon was a cousin of mine that actually got killed in the 18-wheeler last year.
I hate to hear that.
And he was a big fan of Kicks and Tricks, Chopping It Up with Lil Ron. He didn't get a chance to see the other two shows, but he always loved my work. Now, what I want to do is ask you, what would you, by you being a poet, this is going to be perfect.
Yeah.
What would be your top 5 artists that you like? It could be rap, it can be R&B, it can be gospel, it can be blues, it can be jazz, it can be country, whatever you want it to be.
Dead or alive?
Dead or alive.
Famous and unfamous.
It don't matter, whoever you want to put.
Okay.
If they ain't famous, we're going to make them famous.
So, okay, I'm probably lame for this, but I love Michael Jackson.
Hey, man, I listen to Butterfly.
That's on my top 5 because you cannot turn this man on at any point in time, whether I want to feel him or not, bro.
Man.
Mike got that stuff that's going to have you moved on the inside, and I love to be moved.
Yes.
From the inside. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I can't help it. I love me some Michael Jackson.
I'll be there, bro. We can go all the way back to the Jackson 5. Like, I'm jamming. You know what I'm saying?
Just another part of me. Hey, I'm telling you, man, don't give me
no,
with the mic.
for sure.
So Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson would be one. We talked about Tupac, right? I can't leave him off the list after mentioning
man,
him.
you can't miss the I Get Around. Brenda's Not a Baby.
You know, Hail Mary. You know what I'm saying?
Man,
all of that.
You
all
can't.
Of that. You can't miss out on him. And Tupac is definitely a big inspiration in my poetry. You know, like you say, like he does influence that aspect. And my poetry is different in the sense that it's not that where art thou poetry. Mm-hmm. It's very ingrained in the ghetto and the culture that affected me. Mm-hmm. And it's rhythmic. Mm-hmm. It's on a beat. Mm-hmm. The beat in my head, it might not be a real beat, but it's gonna move you and you're gonna feel where I'm coming from. You
gotcha.
know? And that's a concept that I learned from him and that I experienced from him first. Mm-hmm. So I can't not pay homage to that, you know? So another person that heavily influences me is Busy Bone.
Hey, I'm a
Busy Bone is slept on, bro.
No,
but that Heaven's Movie album.
Hey, let me tell you something. I know about the Thugs Cry. You know my favorite song on there? Y'all gonna get mad at me. It's pretty nasty. Freeway.
That's my song.
Man.
That's my favorite song, Ron.
I tell people,
Ron,
have you?
I kid you not. Have you ever made love
on a freeway? Freeway. I'm telling you, man, that is my favorite song.
No,
I listen to that song.
That
so
album,
much.
from the beginning to the end, is a wonderful
It's
album.
true.
His solo album was awesome. His ability to harmonize, how he likes to, you know, how he sings differently. Mm-hmm. Some of his things might sound off key, but it's on key because you feeling it. You know,
especially
like
one that we got when he talk about. One say, what you going through?
What you going through? Going through.
I'm gonna tell you something that's gonna blow your mind.
I love that
My
song.
guy from Kicks and Tricks, T. Carter, he did a song with him.
Really?
We already working on something right now where we're going to allow Busy Bone to come to this studio. I'm not
I
lying.
get to meet Busy Bone?
Hey,
is that what you saying?
hey,
I can't not meet Busy Bone. Okay,
Man,
Ron,
we working
please don't
on
play
that.
with me right now.
I'm not lying.
Do
We
not play
working
with
on
me.
that. I promise you, we working on.
Bro,
actually
I am
getting-
probably the only live Busy Bone fan that's my age. Like Bone Thugs is way before my bro. I grew up on Bone Thugs. It's crazy.
Yes,
like,
man, they should have got a Grammy. I always tell people, man, they should have. East 99, regardless. I don't care what nobody say. East 99 should have got a Grammy.
Their greatest hits could get a Grammy. You know what I'm saying?
The
like,
Art of War. You got Thug Love. What can you go wrong? Why you think Biggie went to go do a song with him? Because he already seen Pac already did the song with him.
Absolutely.
He said, hey, man, let me go ahead
No,
and
they
do
hot
it.
stuff. They're hot stuff.
Yeah, man. Busy
I always
Bone.
wish I could get me a group of ghetto singers together and just like recreate that vibe. Like that would be so dope, you know? Because I mean, I love it. I love it. So Busy Bone, Bone Thugs and Harmony would definitely like be on my list. And my fifth person, I'll let it be somebody that's recent and current. Just the artist that I find.
You know, artists that
I really like Drake.
Well, you know,
I know he's
kind of a
trivial,
poet too. I mean,
but his lyrics,
some
and
things
how
he
he encapsulates the situation and he puts it on a track. I really like that.
Yeah, you know
what I'm
like,
saying?
What I like in my poetry artists is, that's in hip hop that I like. I can never take nothing from Common.
Yeah, Common's good.
I still listen to
Erykah Badu.
Yes.
Scratch Drake. Put Erica on there.
Man. And she from, I think she from Texas. I think she from either San Antonio or Dallas.
Is she?
Yes, I think one of the, I think she's from one of them because she has a baby by the DOC.
She has a baby with Andre 3000.
Yes, but she had the DOC first. She had a child with him first. And a lot of people they don't know that. But I think she's from Dallas or either San Antonio.
I love Erica.
Man.
If she from Texas like me, I just fall out.
Yes, I think she is. If I'm not mistaken, I think Erykah Badu is. I'm gonna research that and I'm gonna find out. But yes, now. How can the people find you on social media?
Okay, so you can find me on Instagram at Sylvia The Poet. We're going to have the YouTube channel up, Poetry Talks. It's going to be on Instagram, Poetry Talks with a Z. Come find me, you know. And, yeah, that's where I'm at. Facebook, I'm Sylvia Marie. If you want to see, like, my family life and, like, really know me, you can find me on Facebook, too. So
now, don't be in this woman inbox. I have to say this when I get the ladies on the side. Don't be sending the woman messages in the inbox asking her, do you want to go on a date?
No.
You know, a lot of people do that. They'll hit you, and I'm pretty sure you probably get people say, hey, can I take you out on a date?
All the time. I think social media is made for that. I have a lot of things in my inbox that I don't even answer, look at, or respond to.
And
people are constantly soliciting you know, dates and stuff. People want to date, and then it's a lot of the scammers and stuff. You know, these scammers, they've been hitting on me more than, you know, men used to hit on me, but they'll stop after a while, you know, because your Facebook friends know you.
That's right.
So at some point, you know, I guess they all go through their period of trying to reach out, and they'll just let it go. But the scammers,
yes,
the fake spiritualists and the snake oil people, boy, they come by the droves.
You know, when I hit somebody in their inbox and I'm talking business with them, a lot of time they don't pay attention, but what sets it off, I send them my phone number. I say, here go my phone number, just give me a call. Or I'll send them a voice note, hey, it's me.
You sent me the link to your show.
Hey,
when you was like, hey, I want to work with you, and you sent me links. I was like, oh, this dude's legit. Let me hit him back.
And then the guy was, and matter of fact, the guy was a poet. Believe it or not, he was a poet guy that came on my show.
Absolutely.
And
that's how you do it. That's how you solicit business on Facebook.
And you click and you're like, oh, hold on, he's legit.
I was like,
he's
this
real.
dude's super legit. Okay, let me drop that. Let me dial that number. Hey, how's it going?
I definitely enjoyed you on the show. And
Thanks
I am going to back you, and I'm going to support you on your project and your business.
I appreciate it.
And when we do another episode somewhere down the line, I will bring you back so we can get an update on your stuff.
Absolutely.
Cool. Always remember, until next time, thank you guys for choosing Chopping It Up with Lil Ron. Remember, anything is possible. We out. Peace.
Peace.